Breaking: Manchester United eye Federico Valverde after Real Madrid drama. Welcome back to United Daily Updates, the YouTube channel you can trust for all the breaking Manchester United news and exclusive transfer information. If you are not subscribed yet, hit that subscribe button now because we bring you the latest developments every single day. Today we have got some massive transfer news that could change everything for Manchester United. The story that has everyone talking. Right, let me get straight into this because it is absolutely huge. Manchester United are reportedly interested in signing Federico Valverde from Real Madrid. Yes, you heard that correctly. Federico Valverde. One of the best midfielders in the world. A player who has been a key part of Real Madrid's success for years. But here is the really interesting part. Valverde is apparently considering leaving Real Madrid after a bust-up with their manager Xabi Alonso. This is not just some made-up rumor. Multiple sources are reporting that there are real problems behind the scenes at Real Madrid right now. And Manchester United are watching this situation very carefully. Ruben Amorim is said to be a huge fan of Valverde and would love to bring him to Old Trafford. Now before we get too excited, there are some major obstacles to this deal happening. Real Madrid want £100 million for Valverde. Manchester United value him closer to £70 million. That is a £30 million difference. And United have a complicated history when it comes to doing transfer deals with Real Madrid. But let me break down everything you need to know about this potential transfer. Who is Federico Valverde? Why is he unhappy at Real Madrid? What would he bring to Manchester United? And what are the realistic chances of this deal actually happening? Who is Federico Valverde? Let me start by telling you about Federico Valverde for anyone who might not be super familiar with him. This guy is an absolute machine. Seriously, he is one of the most complete midfielders in world football right now. Valverde is 27 years old and comes from Uruguay. He joined Real Madrid back in 2016 when he was just a teenager. He spent some time on loan to get experience, but since breaking into the Real Madrid first team, he has been phenomenal. What makes Valverde so special? Well, he can do everything. And I mean everything. He can defend. He can attack. He can pass. He can dribble. He can shoot from distance. He has incredible stamina and can run all day long. He is strong physically. He reads the game well. He is exactly the kind of midfielder that every top team wants. Real Madrid fans call him Pajarito, which means little bird in Spanish. They gave him this nickname because he seems to fly across the pitch. He covers so much ground in every match. He is everywhere at once. Over the years, Valverde has won pretty much everything with Real Madrid. Multiple Champions League titles. Multiple La Liga titles. He has been a crucial player for them in some of their biggest matches. For Uruguay, he is also a key player. He has represented his country in World Cups and Copa Americas. He is one of the first names on the team sheet for the national team. The guy is also known for his incredible long-range shooting. He has scored some absolute screamers from outside the box. That right foot of his is like a rocket launcher. Goalkeepers hate playing against him because he can shoot from anywhere. But it is not just about his technical ability. Valverde also has the right mentality. He works incredibly hard. He never gives up. He fights for every ball. He has that winner mentality that you need at the highest level. So yeah, we are talking about a world-class midfielder here. Not just a good player. A genuine world-class talent who would improve almost any team in the world. The problems at Real Madrid. Now let me explain what is going on at Real Madrid that could potentially lead to Valverde leaving. Because this is where things get really interesting. Xabi Alonso took over as Real Madrid manager and things have not gone smoothly. Now Alonso is obviously a legendary player. He was brilliant during his career. He played for Liverpool, Real Madrid, and Bayern Munich. He won everything. He was one of the smartest midfielders of his generation. And when he moved into management, he did incredibly well at Bayer Leverkusen. He took them from being a mid-table team to winning the Bundesliga. They went an entire season unbeaten in the league. It was an amazing achievement. So when Real Madrid appointed him as their manager, everyone expected great things. But apparently it is not going well behind the scenes. According to reports, several Real Madrid players are unhappy with Alonso's management style. And Valverde is one of them. There has apparently been a bust-up between Valverde and Alonso. We do not know exactly what happened or what was said. But it must have been serious for Valverde to be considering leaving the club. Think about it. Valverde has been at Real Madrid for almost a decade. He has won multiple Champions Leagues there. He is loved by the fans. He earns great money. He is at one of the biggest clubs in the world. For him to be thinking about leaving, something must be really wrong. Now Real Madrid are known for having a demanding environment. The pressure there is immense. They expect to win every single match. They expect to win the Champions League every season. If you have a bad game, the fans will let you know about it. The media will criticize you. It is not an easy place to play. But Valverde has handled that pressure for years. He has thrived in that environment. So if he is now unhappy, it suggests that the problems with Alonso are significant. Other players are also reportedly unhappy. When you have multiple players having issues with the manager, that is a big problem. It creates a toxic atmosphere in the dressing room. It affects performances on the pitch. And eventually, either the players leave or the manager gets sacked. Real Madrid have a history of sacking managers quickly if things are not going well. They have no patience. So if results start to suffer because the players are unhappy, Alonso might not last very long. But even if Alonso gets sacked, the damage might already be done with Valverde. Once a player decides they want to leave, it is very hard to change their mind. The trust is broken. The relationship is damaged. Why Manchester United want Valverde? So why are Manchester United interested in Federico Valverde? What would he bring to the team? And why is Ruben Amorim such a big fan? Let me start with the obvious. Manchester United's midfield has been a problem for years. We have tried so many different combinations. We have spent so much money on midfielders. And we still have not found the right balance. Casemiro was brilliant in his first season but has declined badly. Christian Eriksen is too old and slow now. Kobbie Mainoo is talented but very young and inexperienced. Manuel Ugarte is still adapting to the Premier League. Mason Mount is always injured. What we desperately need is a midfielder who can do everything. Someone who can control games. Someone who can break up opposition attacks. Someone who can drive forward with the ball. Someone who can score goals from midfield. Someone who has the experience and mentality to perform in big matches. Federico Valverde ticks all those boxes. He would instantly become one of our best players. Maybe our very best player. He would bring a level of quality and consistency that we have been missing for years. Think about what he would give us. In defense, he would provide that energy and work rate to press opponents and win the ball back. He covers ground like nobody else. He can track runners. He can make tackles. He can intercept passes. In possession, he would give us that ability to progress the ball from deep areas. He can carry the ball forward. He can break lines with his passing. He can switch the play. He has the technical quality to play in tight spaces. Going forward, he would add goals from midfield. How many goals do we score from midfield right now? Not many. Valverde would change that. He can shoot from distance. He can arrive late in the box. He can create chances for others. And maybe most importantly, he would bring that winning mentality. He knows what it takes to win the biggest trophies. He has done it multiple times. He has performed in Champions League finals. He has won league titles. He has that experience and mental strength that would help the younger players in our squad. Amorim apparently loves Valverde. And you can understand why. Amorim wants his teams to be aggressive, to press high, to win the ball back quickly and then attack with speed. Valverde would be perfect for that system. He has the legs to press for 90 minutes. He has the quality to hurt teams in transition. Amorim also values players who are intelligent and can play in multiple positions. Valverde can play as a central midfielder, as a defensive midfielder, as an attacking midfielder, and even as a right winger if needed. That versatility would be so valuable. If Manchester United could sign Valverde, it would be a statement signing. It would show that we are serious about getting back to the top. It would show that we can still attract the very best players in the world. It would give everyone at the club a massive boost. The money problem. But now we need to talk about reality. And the reality is that this deal would be very expensive and very complicated. Real Madrid want £100 million for Valverde. That is a huge amount of money. It would make him one of the most expensive midfielders ever signed. Manchester United value him closer to £70 million. That is still a lot of money, but it is £30 million less than what Real Madrid are asking. So who is right? What is Valverde actually worth? Well, it depends on how you look at it. On one hand, Valverde is 27 years old. He is entering his prime years. He has proven himself at the highest level. He is one of the best midfielders in the world. He rarely gets injured. He is consistent. Players like that do not become available very often. So maybe £100 million is actually fair. On the other hand, £100 million is a massive investment. It would probably make him our record signing or close to it. We would need to pay him huge wages. We would be committing a lot of money to one player. And there is always a risk when you sign someone. What if he does not adapt to the Premier League? What if he gets a serious injury? What if he is just not as good in a different team and league? For a club like Manchester United that has financial fair play concerns, spending £100 million on one player is a big decision. It might mean we cannot spend money in other positions. It might mean we have to sell players to balance the books. United clearly think £70 million is more reasonable. And you can understand their position. Yes, Valverde is excellent. But £100 million is a lot. Especially for a midfielder who is not the youngest anymore at 27. So we have a £30 million gap between what the two clubs think Valverde is worth. That is a significant difference. It is not like they are £5 or £10 million apart where you can usually find a compromise. £30 million is a huge gap to bridge. This is where negotiations come in. Can United convince Real Madrid to lower their asking price? Can Real Madrid convince United to pay more? Will they meet somewhere in the middle at maybe £85 million? It is going to take some serious negotiating. And both clubs are tough to deal with. Real Madrid are known for demanding top dollar for their players. Manchester United are known for being difficult in negotiations and sometimes walking away from deals if they think the price is too high. The complicated history between the clubs. Here is another problem. Manchester United and Real Madrid have what you might call a complicated relationship when it comes to transfers. They do not exactly have a great track record of working together. Let me give you some history. Back in 2003, Manchester United sold David Beckham to Real Madrid. That was a huge deal at the time. Beckham was one of the most famous footballers in the world. He was a Manchester United legend. But the relationship between him and Sir Alex Ferguson had broken down, so he was sold to Real Madrid. Then in 2009, Real Madrid signed Cristiano Ronaldo from Manchester United. That one hurt. Ronaldo was the best player in the world at the time. He had just won the Ballon d'Or. United did not want to sell him. But Ronaldo wanted to go and Real Madrid paid £80 million, which was a world record fee at the time. United fans were devastated. Losing Ronaldo was a massive blow. And there has always been this feeling that Real Madrid got one over on us. That they took our best player and we could not do anything about it. More recently, there was all the drama with Sergio Ramos. For years, there were rumors that Manchester United were interested in signing him. But it never happened. And there was always this sense that Real Madrid were using United's interest to get Ramos a better contract. Then there was the Rafael Varane deal. United signed him from Real Madrid in 2021. That actually went pretty smoothly. But Varane has been injured a lot and has not quite been the dominant defender we hoped for. So that transfer has not worked out as well as we wanted. The point is, there is some history between these two clubs. Some baggage. Some tension. They are both huge clubs with big egos. Neither wants to be seen as weak in negotiations. Neither wants to be taken advantage of. So when it comes to negotiating a deal for Valverde, you can bet that both clubs will be tough. Real Madrid will not want to look like they are being forced to sell one of their best players for less than he is worth. Manchester United will not want to look like they are being taken for a ride by paying over the odds. This is going to make negotiations very tricky. Both clubs need to save face. Both clubs need to feel like they got a good deal. Finding that balance will not be easy. The contract situation. Another thing we need to consider is Valverde's contract situation. According to reports, he is under contract at Real Madrid until 2029. That is still over 3 years away. That is a long time. This is significant because it means Real Madrid are under no pressure to sell. They have Valverde locked in for several more years. He cannot just run down his contract and leave for free next summer. They hold all the cards in this situation. When a player only has 1 or 2 years left on their contract, the selling club often has to lower their asking price. Because if they do not sell, the player will leave for free soon anyway. But that is not the case here. Real Madrid can basically say take it or leave it. If you want Valverde, you pay what we are asking. If not, he stays with us. We are happy to keep him. We do not need the money. This puts Manchester United in a difficult position. We cannot play hardball in negotiations by waiting for the price to come down. Because it probably will not. Real Madrid can afford to keep Valverde even if he is unhappy. Now of course, if Valverde really wants to leave, that changes things a bit. Players who are unhappy can become problems in the dressing room. They can affect team morale. Sometimes it is better for a club to sell an unhappy player even if it is not ideal. But Real Madrid are not some small club that gets pushed around. They are one of the most powerful clubs in world football. They have dealt with unhappy players before. They have ways of handling these situations. So Valverde being unhappy might lower the asking price slightly. But it is not going to make Real Madrid desperate to sell. They will still demand a huge fee. For this deal to happen, one of three things needs to occur. Either Manchester United need to pay close to what Real Madrid are asking, or Real Madrid need to significantly lower their price, or Valverde needs to force the move by refusing to play or causing major problems at the club. That third option seems unlikely. Valverde does not seem like that kind of player. He is professional. He is respectful. Even if he wants to leave, I doubt he would burn bridges with Real Madrid in such a dramatic way. What would Valverde's arrival mean for other players? If Manchester United did somehow manage to sign Federico Valverde, what would that mean for the other midfielders at the club? Because we already have quite a few midfielders on the books. Let me start with Casemiro. He is the big-name central midfielder we have. He had a great first season but has really struggled since then. He looks slow. He gets caught out of position. He gives the ball away. If we signed Valverde, Casemiro would probably lose his place in the team completely. Now Casemiro earns huge wages. He is on something like £300,000 a week or more. If he is not playing, that is a massive waste of money. United would probably want to sell him or at least loan him out. But finding a club willing to pay his wages would be very difficult. He is 32 years old now. His value has dropped massively. Then there is Kobbie Mainoo. He is the young English midfielder who has been one of our best players this season. If we sign Valverde, where does Mainoo fit in? Would he still get enough game time to continue his development? This is an important question. Mainoo is 19 years old and improving all the time. He needs to play regularly. If he ends up on the bench because we sign Valverde, that could hurt his development. And long-term, Mainoo might become as good as Valverde anyway. Do we really want to block his progress? Manuel Ugarte is another one to consider. We signed him from Paris Saint-Germain just recently. He is still adapting to English football. He has shown some good moments but also some struggles. If Valverde comes in, does Ugarte become a backup player? Does he get sold? Mason Mount is another midfielder but he is always injured so nobody really knows what his future holds. Christian Eriksen is 32 and clearly coming to the end of his time at the club. Scott McTominay was sold to Napoli already. The point is, if we sign Valverde for £100 million, some of these other midfielders are going to suffer. Either they will not play much or they will be sold. And for a club that has financial fair play concerns, having expensive players sitting on the bench is not ideal. This is why signing Valverde is not a simple decision. Yes, he would improve the team. But it would also create other problems and difficult decisions about the rest of the squad. Amorim would need to figure out how to fit everyone in. Maybe he plays a system with 3 central midfielders. Maybe Mainoo moves to a more attacking role. Maybe some players get sold to make room. These are the kind of decisions managers and directors have to make. It is not just about signing the best players. It is about building a balanced squad where everyone has a role and everyone fits together. Alternative targets. Given all the complications with signing Valverde, it is worth thinking about whether Manchester United should be looking at alternative targets. Are there other midfielders out there who could do a similar job for less money? There are always options. Football is full of talented midfielders. The question is whether any of them are as good as Valverde. Some names that have been mentioned as potential United targets include Nicolo Barella from Inter Milan. He is an excellent midfielder. Very similar style to Valverde actually. Lots of energy, good technically, can score goals. He might be available for less money than Valverde. Another option could be Florian Wirtz from Bayer Leverkusen. He is younger than Valverde at just 21 years old. He is more of an attacking midfielder but he has incredible talent. He could be available if United are willing to pay big money. There is also Aurelien Tchouameni at Real Madrid. He is younger than Valverde and might be available for less money. He is more defensive but he is a top-quality midfielder. Or United could look at someone like Douglas Luiz who just moved to Juventus. Or Ederson from Atalanta. Or even Martin Zubimendi from Real Sociedad. The point is, there are other good midfielders out there. Maybe they are not quite as good as Valverde. But they might be 80 or 90% as good for 50 or 60% of the price. And when you are working with limited funds, that might be better value. This is something the recruitment team at Manchester United need to be thinking about. Do we go all in for Valverde even though it is expensive and complicated? Or do we look at other targets who might be easier to sign? It is a difficult decision. Sometimes you have to pay top dollar for top quality. Other times it is smarter to be more strategic and get good value deals. The January transfer window factor. One more thing to consider is timing. The January transfer window is coming up in just over a month. Will this deal happen in January? Or are we talking about next summer? January transfers are always tricky. Clubs do not like selling their best players in the middle of the season. Real Madrid will be competing for trophies. They will need all their best players. Would they really sell Valverde in January? It seems unlikely unless the situation with Alonso gets really bad. If Valverde is refusing to play or causing major problems, maybe Real Madrid would sell in January just to get rid of the issue. But if it is just some tension that can be managed, they probably keep him until the summer. From Manchester United's perspective, signing Valverde in January would be amazing. We need help right now. We are not playing well. We need quality players to improve the team immediately. Getting Valverde in January could transform our season. But January deals are expensive. Clubs know that if you are buying in January, you are probably desperate. So they charge extra. Real Madrid might add an extra 10 or 20 million pounds to their asking price just because it is January. United might prefer to wait until summer. We could take our time with negotiations. We could make sure we get the right deal. We could sell some players first to raise funds. There would be less pressure and less rush. The problem with waiting until summer is that other clubs might get involved. If everyone knows Valverde is available, suddenly Manchester City might be interested. Or Liverpool. Or Bayern Munich. Or Paris Saint-Germain. Competition for his signature would increase and that could drive the price up even more. So there are pros and cons to both January and summer. We will have to wait and see how it plays out. The realistic chances of this happening. Okay, let me be honest with you about the realistic chances of this transfer actually happening. Because I do not want to get everyone's hopes up if this is unlikely to go through. On one hand, there are reasons to believe this could happen. Valverde is apparently unhappy at Real Madrid. Manchester United are interested. Amorim wants him. We need a midfielder of his quality. The player is at least considering leaving Real Madrid. But on the other hand, there are major obstacles. The price is very high. The two clubs have a complicated relationship. Real Madrid do not need to sell. Valverde has a long contract. Doing deals with Real Madrid is never easy. If I had to put a percentage on it, I would say this deal has maybe a 20 to 30% chance of happening. It is possible but not likely. For it to happen, several things would need to go right. Valverde would need to really push for the move. Real Madrid would need to lower their asking price or United would need to increase their offer. The negotiations would need to go smoothly. United would probably need to sell some players first to raise funds. That is a lot of things that need to align. It is not impossible. Stranger things have happened in football. But it is definitely not straightforward. My guess is that United are keeping tabs on the situation. If it looks like Valverde might actually be available for a reasonable price, they will make a move. But if Real Madrid stay firm on £100 million, United will probably walk away and look at other targets. That is just smart business. You cannot pay whatever the selling club demands just because you want the player. You have to be disciplined. You have to stick to your valuation. Otherwise you end up overpaying for players and wasting money. So while this is an exciting story and it is fun to imagine Valverde in a Manchester United shirt, I would not get too carried away just yet. Keep an eye on it. Follow the developments. But do not expect it to happen for certain. What this says about United's ambitions. Even if this deal does not happen, I think it tells us something important about Manchester United's ambitions under Ruben Amorim and the new leadership at the club. We are going after one of the best midfielders in the world. We are not settling for second-rate players. We are not just looking at young prospects or bargain deals. We are aiming high. We are targeting players who could genuinely transform this team. That is encouraging. For too long, Manchester United have been linked with players who are either past their best or not quite good enough for a club of our size. We have made too many mediocre signings. We have brought in too many players who did not work out. But going after someone like Valverde shows ambition. It shows that Amorim has real targets in mind. It shows that the club is backing him and giving him the opportunity to sign top players. Even if we do not get Valverde, the fact that we are trying is important. It sends a message to other players that Manchester United are serious. That we are building something. That top players should want to come here. This is how you attract quality. You show ambition. You go after the best players. You make big moves. And even if you do not always succeed, players and agents notice. They see that Manchester United are active in the market. They see that we are willing to spend money on the right players. So regardless of whether this specific deal happens, I am pleased that we are being linked with players of this caliber. It suggests that the club has a plan, that we know what we need, that we are not just randomly signing whoever becomes available. What fans should do. So what should Manchester United fans do with this information? How should we react to this transfer rumour? First, stay informed but do not get too carried away. Yes, it is exciting to think about signing Valverde. Yes, he would be an incredible addition to the team. But remember that most transfer rumours do not turn into actual transfers. The majority of reported interest never becomes anything concrete. Follow the story. Keep up with developments. But do not start celebrating like it is a done deal. Because if it falls through, the disappointment will be worse. Second, trust the process. Ruben Amorim and the recruitment team know what they are doing. If they think Valverde is the right player, great. If they decide he is too expensive and look elsewhere, that is fine too. We have to trust that the people running the club are making smart decisions. Third, remember that one player alone will not fix everything. Even if we sign Valverde, Manchester United still have lots of problems to solve. We need better defenders. We need more goals from our forwards. We need to improve as a team. One midfielder, no matter how good he is not going to suddenly make us title contenders. Fourth, support the players we have. While we are dreaming about new signings, we cannot forget about the players already at the club. They need our support. They are the ones out there playing for the shirt every week. Let us get behind them. And finally, stay patient. Building a successful team takes time. It does not happen overnight. We are not going to challenge for the title this season. We probably are not going to do it next season either. But if we keep making good decisions, if we keep improving, if we stick with Amorim and his vision, we will get there eventually. Remember, success in football is rarely instant. Even Manchester City took years to build their current team. Liverpool took time under Klopp. Arsenal have been building for several years under Arteta. These things take patience. The bigger picture. Let me zoom out for a moment and talk about the bigger picture of what is happening at Manchester United right now. We are in a transition period. The last few years have been difficult. We have not won the league since 2013. We have not won the Champions League since 2008. We have gone through multiple managers. We have spent hundreds of millions on players who did not work out. But there is a sense now that things are changing. We have a new manager in Amorim who seems to know what he is doing. We have new leadership at the club. There is a clear plan starting to form. Part of that plan involves signing the right players. Players who fit Amorim's system. Players who have the right mentality. Players who can help us compete at the highest level again. Valverde would fit that profile perfectly. But so would other players. The key is that the club seems to have a clear idea of what they need. They are not just randomly signing whoever is available. They have targets. They have a strategy. This is good news for Manchester United fans. For too long we have lacked direction. We have signed players who did not fit together. We have had no coherent plan. But that seems to be changing now. Whether we sign Valverde or someone else, the important thing is that we are moving in the right direction. We are thinking carefully about recruitment. We are trying to build a team rather than just collecting individuals. It will take time. There will be setbacks along the way. Not every signing will work out. Not every match will go our way. But if we stay patient and stick with the plan, Manchester United will be back at the top eventually. Wrapping this up. So there you have it. Everything you need to know about Manchester United's reported interest in Federico Valverde. Let me summarize the key points. Valverde is one of the best midfielders in the world. He is apparently unhappy at Real Madrid after a bust-up with manager Xabi Alonso. Manchester United are interested in signing him. Ruben Amorim is a huge fan. But Real Madrid want £100 million for him. United value him closer to £70 million. That £30 million gap is a major obstacle. Plus, the two clubs have a complicated history when it comes to transfers. Valverde is under contract until 2029, which means Real Madrid have no pressure to sell. They can demand whatever price they want. The chances of this deal actually happening are probably quite low. Maybe 20 to 30%. It would require a lot of things to go right. But even if it does not happen, it shows that Manchester United are ambitious. We are going after top players. We have a plan. We are not settling for mediocrity anymore. As fans, we should stay informed but not get too carried away. We should trust the process. We should support the players we have. And we should be patient as the club rebuilds. This is a long journey. There will be ups and downs. But slowly and surely, Manchester United are heading in the right direction. Thank you for reading. Thank you so much for taking the time to read this deep dive into the Federico Valverde transfer saga. I hope you found it informative and interesting. This is what we do at United Daily Updates. We give you detailed analysis of all the big Manchester United stories. We do not just report the headlines. We explain what it all means. We give you the context you need to understand what is happening at the club. If you enjoyed this article, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. We post new videos every single day covering all the latest Manchester United news, transfer rumours, match analysis, and tactical breakdowns. We have built an amazing community of passionate Red Devils and we would love for you to be part of it. Share this article with your mates. Post it on social media. Let other United fans know about this story. The more people who join our community, the better our discussions become. And let me know in the comments what you think. Do you want Manchester United to sign Valverde? Do you think it will happen? Would you pay £100 million for him? What other midfielders should we be looking at? I love hearing from you all. Your comments help shape what content we create. This is not just my channel. This is our channel. We are all Manchester United fans who want what is best for the club. Keep checking back for more updates on this story. If there are any new developments with the Valverde situation, we will cover them right away. We are always on top of the latest Manchester United news. Thank you again for your support. Thank you for being part of United Daily Updates. Thank you for your passion for Manchester United. Until next time, keep the faith. Keep supporting the team. And remember, we are Manchester United. We have been through difficult times before and we always come back stronger. Glory, glory, Manchester United.